Look, I want you to look at your goals, and I want you to ask yourself this question. Do you know what it takes to make that happen? Like, do you, like literally, like, because this is what all it's going to take. 3 things, it's all it's going to take. Do you know what it takes? Look, the only thing it takes to go from where I went to, a homeless, high school dropout, sleeping in abandoned buildings, eating out of trash cans. I went from being a high school dropout, getting a GED, to having a PhD. Listen to me, the only thing it takes is knowing what it takes. So one day I woke up and was like, okay, E, stop talking about what you don't have. You need to know what you don't know so you can get to where you're trying to get to. Listen to me, guys, I'm real simple. The first thing I'm gonna ask you, do you know what it takes? That's it. Now, if you know what it takes, that's great. You mark it off. And I remember before being in that room with Warren Buffett, I never even thought about making that kind of money. I never thought about making money, but I was sitting in the room with Warren Buffett. So I get in the room with Warren Buffett, and what blows my mind is that he's human. Look, there are those of you who watch people on TV and you go, oh, and you admire them and you love them. And some of you watch so much TV because you really want to live your dreams through somebody else. You're not ready to do the work. Real, so you watch it on TV so you can get inspired. And so Warren Buffett, everybody's sitting down, Warren Buffett walks in the room, and when Warren Buffett walks in the room, it blows my mind. I'm like, yo, this dude is human. Like, he didn't come in with an Italian suit on. He came in with like a normal, I'm like, that's a normal suit. You know what's so crazy? He could wear a Sears and Roebuck suit because he was already one of the richest men in the world. He didn't have to come in and impress nobody. He didn't have to come in and prove that he was rich, because we know he's rich. I'm like, what an amazing feeling. Like, you can be your authentic self. Like, Warren Buffett didn't have to come in, because some other guys came in and they had their suits that he didn't have on. And they had the $1 million watches that he didn't have on. And they had the shoes that he wasn't wearing. He had a normal tie on. He didn't have it all the way up. He didn't have a Pat Riley, like, it was just a normal button up. And he came in the room, and he's not GQ. So he wasn't trying to act like he came in to give financial advice. And I sat there listening to this man talk, and I was like, whoa, my mom worked for Ford. She later got married. The person that became my father worked at GM. My whole life, I never heard that conversation before. I had only heard the working class language. It was a different language. And I walked out of that room and was like, yo, I know what it takes. So being successful is not who you are, it's what you know. So I need to get a different relationship to knowledge. So you're in this room, and we've been here for a few days. We did not come here to be entertained. You did not come here to get pumped up. And I'm telling you, I'm hyped right now. So I'm hyped, but I did not come here just so you can get pumped up or get hyped. You have been given information. You are this close to making every dream you wrote down happen. Why? Because you have been taught by the best of the best. You have been taught by the best of the best. You've been taught by people who've been doing this for years. You've been taught by people who love you and care for you. People who are giving you information that you're not going to get randomly on your own. You are getting 10, 20, 30 years of experience in an hour. And so you are this close to your dreams and goals. So I have to ask you the question. You have the information. Now, what are you going to do with it?
If you have a dream, don't just sit there. Get your ass up and make something happen. Sometimes you just have to move. Do something. Make a call. Reach out to someone. Google something. Learn something new. Write down what you need to do in order to make a better life for yourself. And be brave enough to do those things.
I dare you to take a stand today to say no more. I will no longer accept this for my life. I dare you to take action today. I dare you to write your goals down and get someone to hold you accountable. I dare you to hold yourself accountable. I dare you to give up everything that is keeping you from your dream, to say no to all the negative influences. I dare you to pick up a book instead of a dream. I dare you to work harder than you think you did yesterday. I dare you to prove them wrong. I dare you to prove yourself right.
And if you're going to get to the next level, you're going to have to erase everything you knew about what you knew, what you thought you knew. I'm going to say it again because I see some people like, whoa, Eric, I'm trying to catch that. It is the stinking thinking that got you where you are right now. It is the limited beliefs that have you where you are right now. You have a limited belief. I remember that I thought I could never do this, but only for people who look like me. I remember when I was like 19, 20 and I started speaking, 20, 21, and I would go to historically black colleges and I would kill it. And I remember somebody asking me not to do historically black, but to come out of my particular community, my particular way of speaking, my particular way of doing things. And I'm thinking to myself when I first got there, I was like, whoa, I don't know if I could do this. Like they don't come from where I come from. Like they don't talk like I talk. Like they don't have the experience that I had. I don't know if I have anything to say. And God said to me, you what? I'll never forget talking to Les Brown and Bob Proctor. Les Brown was like, yo, you're the #1 motivational speaker in the world. I wasn't even a number at that time. He said, you're the #1 motivational speaker in the world. And I remember, I'm not going to say it out loud, but I remember how the conversation started. I actually named somebody that I thought was #1. And he said, how dare you say their name out loud and say they're #1. You're the #1 motivational speaker in the world. And you better not ever say they're #1. You're #1. And I said, hold up, what? But I just started speaking. He says, no one on the planet is giving free information away like you giving free information away. Nobody in the planet loves people the way. There's no other motivational speaker going to prisons. There's no other motivational speaker talking to 12 kids in a detention center. There's no other motivational speaker going to schools and shaking kids' hands on their way to school and not getting paid a dime for it. Meet them at 6:30 saying, good morning. He said, you are the #1 motivational speaker in the world because nobody cares about humans like you care. Your limited beliefs heard you say. I didn't say that. That's what your past told you. That's what you getting a GED told you. Your biological father not being in your life told you because you don't value yourself. You think it's tough. I'm telling you, son, there are people in this earth that value you more than you value yourself. They look to you in a way that you don't look to yourself. You will not get what you're supposed to get until you value yourself and you kill all your limited beliefs.
You're well and truly capable of living at a higher level. If you do or you don't, that's up to you. Ask yourself, am I happy with my life exactly as it is now? Am I happy staying where I am? If you don't like the answer, get to work. Work on yourself. Work harder than you think you've worked in the past. More discipline, higher standards, more self-respect, more boundaries, less BS, more forward, less backward, more positive, less negative.
So I need you to do me a favor. Just write it down because you don't have enough paper, but write down your limited beliefs. And when you get home, I need you to address them. He said, Eric, I used to be like, God, I don't know if I could do corporate. He said, son, not only can you do it, you must do it. You're going to bring something that nobody else is bringing. And I was like, what do I bring that nobody else is bringing? He said, that message that you think isn't important is so important. And guess what message I was bringing to corporate? I was bringing, so you're a 7-figure earner, but you're not a 7-figure dad. I was like, do you know how important this message is? Just because you're not talking money like they talking money, this has nothing to do with it. You just told my man that he need to be a 7-figure spouse. He's not a 7-figure spouse. He's one-dimensional. He knows how to make money, but the rest of his life sucks. Challenge him to get the triple-double life. Challenge them to get the trouble. Yes, you've invested in stocks and bonds, but you ain't invested into your wife. You've invested into the stock market, but not your kids. And your son is in a gang because the gangs is beating you. Oh, you're killing it at the company, but when you come home, you're not killing it with your child. That's why your daughter was somebody she shouldn't be with. That's why your daughter wants to commit suicide because her daddy ain't giving her the attention that she needs. So do me a favor. I just want you to give your company, don't stop giving your company that attention. But I challenge you to give your wife the same energy that you give to your company.